Today you will see what a normal week in my life looks like with a small twist, because I need to change this. That is way too many hours in a day. As I'm sure you could have guessed, there are a couple different details that I want to get into real quick. First one going to be rules. The rules I have set in place currently: no social media before 6 p.m. and no phone after 10 p.m. because that gives me 1 hour without any screens before I go to bed. The three things I'll be rating myself by this week are productivity, mindfulness, and rule following. I will give myself a 1 out of 5 each day, and pretty much just seeing how I do, adding up the total for everything. That's how the rating system works. I'm not going to lie, I'm slightly worried about how this is going to go because going from 10 to 3 is a huge difference. Huge difference. And I also don't know how certain things like listening to music, listening to podcasts, and calling with friends changes that, because I'm not going to change those things. Those things are good for me. What's not good for me is the countless hours I spend scrolling on my phone. And that's really why I'm doing this. I'll explain more tomorrow, so let's just go ahead and start the morning off tomorrow. 10 plus hours a day from what my screen time says, which probably includes Spotify some, because I use Spotify every day. But still, 10 hours is just too much. So right now, I am going to be on it for a couple minutes. I'm going to clear out messages from the day the night. I'm going to clear out messages from the night. How it's going to work is each day I have a recording period that I need to record in. So today was 6 to 9. Tomorrow will be 9 to 12. And then 12 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, 9 to 11. That's what it's going to look like for this week. So you're going to see a different period of my day throughout the week, but it's all going to be put together in one video. It'll probably be a little weird, but I'll try and add what day it is every time I switch to the day. That's what the recording schedule looks like. Last night, I will say, felt great not being on my phone for the last hour of the day. It was a little rough, but it felt great. I was able to get stuff done. I felt more aware mentally. So far it's already working, and we're not even a day in. Finally made it to work. As you can probably tell, it's freezing cold outside. Freezing cold. I hate it. I need it to be over. Right, it is 9 o'clock right now. Honestly, this morning so far, I feel like I did pretty good. I will probably give myself a rating tonight, so I guess you'll see me tonight and then tomorrow morning. So far so good, just working on cutting stuff out. Monday night, it is currently 9 o'clock, and for the first rating of the whole challenge, I gave myself a 4 for productivity. I was at work most of the day. I feel like overall I was pretty productive, and even when I got home, I just got done working on my budget, which I worked on for like the past 2 hours. Spreadsheets are painstakingly hard. I did not expect it to take that long. I want to hit my head against the wall. I'll be fine. And I still have more to do on that budget, but that's a different story. For mindfulness, because I was just at work, I wasn't really thinking or doing much. I was really just working. And so I gave myself a 2.5, which is, obviously middle of the pack. I did okay. This is 1 out of 5, so middle of the pack. And I feel like when I did start to think through stuff, I did think well. But I wasn't really thinking about stuff so much because I was working. As for rule following, the only 2 rules, which I really should come up with more rules, but the only 2 rules I currently have are no social media before 6 p.m., which I didn't get on social media at all, and then no phone after 10, which shouldn't be a problem. I've got an hour left to be on my phone or any screens, I guess. So I feel like I'm not going to have any issues with that. If something changes, I'll change my rating. I'll be fair. But overall, 11.5 for the first day, which out of 15 seems pretty good to me. Tomorrow is a new day, so we're going to see how it goes. It is 8:58 right now, and to give myself a final rating for today, I went with a 5 for productivity because I was pretty much the only person at work today, and I was moving. There were some times where I was a little slow, but I would say that was just how the general flow of the day would go, even at my peak. So I give myself a 5 for productivity. For mindfulness, I was a little better today than yesterday. Yesterday was kind of middle of the pack, but today I felt like I was doing better. I was thinking more about different things and just more aware of where my headspace was. For rule following, instead of a 5 today, I gave myself a 4.8 because there were 2 times that I almost watched something. One was by accident and one was just like a habit almost. So I docked myself a little bit there, not much, because it was almost in a nothing. Like I didn't watch anything. Oh, when I say didn't watch anything, I mean for the one rule about no social media before 6. 13.5, which is 2 points better than yesterday. So we're improving, doing better. Still pretty high of the pack. Tomorrow is going to be the most interesting of the whole week because I have the whole day off. I do have stuff planned. So that's really going to be where productivity comes into play. Also, when I got home, I gotta say, I felt like I was doing really good with stuff. I finished up the last little bit for my budget. My goodness, do I look really white right now? Like pale as a ghost. I finished up that last little bit of the budget though, and then I worked on editing a short for somebody. Got that done like 5 minutes. It wasn't much. Dinner wasn't much, so I can't say much about that. And instead of taking my shower tomorrow like I was going to take it tomorrow morning. I just took it tonight. As you can probably tell, my hair's still a little wet. So overall productivity for tonight, really good. Guys, I'm really hoping to get to 50 subscribers soon because once I hit 50, I can start live streaming and then I'll be able to play games, live streaming, and everything is going to be awesome. So that's what I'm going for, 50. We're like almost halfway there. At the time of recording this, 21 subscribers. So we're getting there. We're close. So please subscribe if you can. I understand if you can't or if you don't want to. But if you can, do it so we can live stream because I want to live stream so bad. Everything else is going great. Recording's going great. I feel like I'm making progress with the video without overwhelming myself with recording. Overall, I just really feel like being off of my phone has helped. And I'm really glad that I decided to do it. I need to figure out how I want to do it moving on after this week because it's great. I know it's not always going to be practical though. So I'm going to figure that out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at about 12 o'clock. So far this morning has been really rough. I've been on social media several times because I am bored and have not much to do. There's a bunch of dishes here, so I'm going to work on cleaning those up, probably clean up the kitchen a little bit because I'm home alone, so I'll be blasting music and working on getting some stuff cleaned up. Hopefully that'll boost my productivity for today. I haven't been entirely lazy, but I've been pretty lazy today, so yeah, I'm just gonna start the dishes. Now 2:03. I spent I think the past like 2 hours cleaning. The floor looks great. The table's clear. Yeah. That's what I was doing. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. Not really sure. But I'll figure it out. My battery on my Osmo is getting close to being dead. This is the most productive thing I think I could have done. Now, I also have almost finished one video and most of the way through editing a different one. So I was productive this morning, but it was also just a mix of wanting to be on my phone and being productive. So it was distracted being productive, but I was still productive. Anyway, that's all I got for now. It's about 3:40 at this point, working on unwrapping this van here, just some old graphics they went off. I worked on a pest control truck all morning. Took way longer than I thought it would. Other than that, nothing's really been going on. Just that truck and this. That's been pretty much my whole day. My coworker came back for the second time during the video that I was recording. Anyway, I have no idea what I'm doing tonight. I need to be productive, need to do something, get my mind off of the funk I'm in. Yeah, this is what most of my week looks like. It's just working on vehicles or signs and stuff like that. There's not much more to really show or tell, unfortunately. But maybe eventually there will be. Once I get out and do some fun trips and everything, which I plan on doing, it'll be a little different then, I guess. It is now 10:08, and here's my rating for today. For productivity, I gave myself a 3.8 because I feel like I was rather productive today. Even work, everything, I was rather productive. I actually just uploaded 2 videos, and I have another one that I'm going to upload yet. Mindfulness, I was thinking a little bit ahead, but really today seemed to fly by. Not much going on today. Flew by. So I give myself a 2. And then for rule following, because it's 10:08, I was just on my iPad finishing up the video because the video was taking ages to upload like they always do. So I docked myself a point. I'm at 4 because it's for YouTube, so I didn't quite want to count it against myself when I'm doing something that's good. So overall, that equals 9.8. That's my score for today. So I think Tuesday was the best day so far, and we're going to see how I do tomorrow. I just realized I have to put out the trash. It's probably like 10 degrees outside, 10 o'clock at night, and I got to go put out the trash. Great. Well, I guess I'm going to go do that. 9:37 at this point, and my rating for today is way better than some other days this week. It is the best of the week so far, actually, and that was just because productivity-wise, work was pretty good. I was actually painting and staining wood, which I've never stained wood before, so that was kind of interesting and a little bit different. The chemicals definitely got to me a little bit at some point, but that's okay. I'm fine. For mindfulness, I was thinking through what I wanted to do this weekend, how I wanted to go about videos and all that fun stuff. So I give myself a 4 out of 5. For rule following, I didn't get on social media before 6. Even after 6, I don't think I was on for a while. For being on my phone after 10, I won't be. So we're good there. So I gave myself a 5. So overall rating for, what's today? Friday. For Friday is a 14, which is the highest score of this week. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow, whether it'll be the time schedule or just randomly. I will see you all tomorrow. I'm going to play some Super Mario Odyssey because I have not got to sit down and play some video games in a minute. I haven't gotten very far in Odyssey yet. Whoa, that's cool. I will put my final rating on the screen for Saturday, and overall, I would say this week was a big success. It was a little rough on Wednesday, but other than that, everything else was good. Here's my final screen time for the week, and I'm a little higher than I wanted to be. The goal was 3 hours a day, but I'm pretty sure my Spotify took that up because I found that I really do need something always going on, and so music and podcasts was really a big outlet for that this week, which is something else I'd want to work on, but it's not as bad as doom scrolling was, so I'm not super mad about that one at all. These are just the last things I did yesterday, and that's how most of my week ended, is with these same things every week. I was doing one more push-up each day after I started doing them, so I think I started doing them Monday or something, and I just added a push-up every day, so I'm at 31. I started at 25, I think. I would absolutely recommend this to anybody who feels like they are just always on their phone, always scrolling. Just give yourself a week, give yourself a couple of rules, and see what happens. You don't have to keep that change, but that shift can definitely tell you a lot about what you might need and what might be beneficial for you in the future. And I will say what I ended up doing with most of my social media is I deleted it from my phone and moved it to my iPad, so I only have access to it whenever I'm on my iPad. And it's a lot less appealing on the iPad because everything is different and weird because social media is not really made for iPads, it's made for phones. So definitely a good workaround for me, and I will probably be sticking with it for a while. I can't thank you guys enough for watching this video, and if you've made it this far, let me know what you think about the video in the comments. I am working on doing better with videos and everything, and I have an interesting concept ready for this coming Wednesday, so make sure you stick around to see that. And until then, I will see you all next time. But